Let's stand up for the national anthem of Laos.
And now, the national anthem of Kyrgyzstan.
What a special moment, isn't it, playing in the semi-finals of an international tournament. These are not two, you'd say, recognized footballing countries, but here they are. They find themselves into the Final Four, the Bangamata U19 Women's International Gold Cup. And certainly we have been extremely impressed with Laos. And we predicted right from the get-go that it would be Laos versus Bangladesh final. Can they fulfill that? They go into this as the overwhelming favourites, as the top scorers, and as the best defence. Paul Macefield mentioned earlier, they haven't conceded a goal. They've barely had any trouble at the back as well.
Yeah, they haven't. When it has gone through, the keeper's there as a sweeper keeper to come out and deal with it.
Shaisanet Pansa from Thailand in charge. They've been using the same referees and officials, and they just rotate around. Uvena Fernandez, Baharet Saifan Vahandi and Mahnaz Kozani are the officials for this evening. And I think they'll have to keep a close eye because, as we've seen with Kyrgyzstan, they go in hard. Laos also don't give too much quarter. I mean, it could get feisty.
This one could be really feisty. Again, when you get to this stage of a competition, you manage to get through the group phase. It doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter whether it's 1-0, it doesn't matter whether it's 10-0. You've just got to win, because you want to be at the big event, which of course is the final. But yeah, I think that if one or two challenges start to fly in, shall we say, I think players will be trying to look after themselves, and I think that the officials will need to be strong today. They'll need to be stronger than we've seen them throughout this tournament. They'll need to pick up on all the little niggles, all the little fouls that are going on, and if they can do that, we should be in for a good one.
There's a coach that we were talking about earlier, and her reaction, I think she'll be paying special attention to pay. And yeah, I mean, let me ask you, Paul, I mean, how does one counter pay? How does one negate her influence in the game?
You stop the service. That's the first thing. If you can stop the service getting to her, then that's going to be your first point of call. Then you've got to obviously deal with it, which is you've got to try and force her wide. She likes everything on her right foot, so you push her and force her out to the left-hand side, because that's her weaker foot. And, you know, you just hope then that everybody's on their mettle, that she can't deliver the quality into the box, and that your keeper's in good form. So, to be fair, Kyrgyzstan will have to be at 100% each player on the pitch today. They can't afford any lapses of concentration.
Yeah, that is going to be tough. Remember, they were outplayed for large parts of that semi-final against Bangladesh, and They really have to be on top of their game. We said they had to be on top of their game in that last match. They found it tough, didn't they? And Pei gets us going. And the ball comes straight back to her. And we know that they like to get on the front foot very quickly. There's Dallinger. And they'll try to get the ball quickly up to Borumbakova. I think most of the teams here have looked for a quick surrender now. And just like Shopner did, they immediately just tries to run at that defence and cause problems.
So she scored in the 4th minute in the opening game, the 2nd minute in the 2nd game, and gets a within 30 seconds of the 3rd game. I think that tells you how important she is to this Laos team.
Let's see if they get into the final third early on. We've got to be a little bit careful with that clearance. But it's away by Sesamon, who we've been impressed with, particularly going forward.
Yeah.
Here's Dallinger, who tries to just link up play.
There you see the direct routes again, just trying to go forwards and trying to play it over the top.
Oh, a little tug there, surely, on Pei from Askarova.
Well, you asked how to stop her, that's one way. I think she will do.
She has gone for goal. It's on target. And despite looking a little susceptible in the previous game, she handles that pretty.
Kyrgyzstan to make something happen as well. They're in possession.
Well, you know where this will be aimed at, and she tries to spin past her defender. Then she's done really well here, Pei. Again, fantastic work from her. It's onside. Flag has gone up this time.
I thought she was onside. Shez, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that was an offside decision. What do I know? My eyes again. But I did agree with you.
Yeah, okay, so I made the initial assessment then. I'll take the blame for that one. But again, you could just see a wild swipe there from Askarova, and Pei's quick feet almost caused a lot of trouble there for Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, well, but to be fair, Laos haven't been as dominant as we've seen them in the previous 2 games.
Oh, well, the keeper has hesitated here. And Borumbakova just didn't get that final touch. Wow. This is a rare moment of susceptibility.
She's got to score there for me. She has to score. Borumbakova is in here. It's just a long punted ball forwards. You're right about the keeper. The hesitation there, she just checked back. That was hers to come out and claim.
Well, Patalavadi has had very, very little to do in this tournament. And you've got to give credit here to Kyrgyzstan because they're not holding back. They're not sitting.
No, but it's like we said, you stop the service. They're winning the battle at the moment in the middle of the park, Shazad. Then what they're looking to do is try and turn Laos very quickly so that they're facing their own goal and push and squeeze in.
Now this is very interesting the way they're approaching this. I'd like to see it. It's positive. And they're clever, very clever with their tactics at the moment, but can they sustain it?
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's no good just doing it for a 5-minute spell.
Yeah.
Has to be the full 90.
Pei with an important touch. Here comes upon a tip. This is one of the key players for you, Paul, mentioned.
Just getting upended and fouled. Doing ever so well again. Little nutmegs there, and yeah, just barged off the ball. Same distance as the last free kick, sorry.
This one again. I just wonder whether, because they watched that semi-final and how Tolanova looked, I think she struggled to deal with some of those balls.
Yeah, I think, but if we've watched Pei, and we have done over the past 2 games, every opportunity she gets, she tries to shoot.
Yeah. And more often than not on target.
No, it's normally high and wide, particularly when she's just outside the box. When she's in the box, she's very cool, very composed, and can finish. That's a different story.
Here's Dallinger. Again, it's that ball up and under almost. And this time, less hesitation from Patlavadi.
They are just trying to get him behind, aren't they? I mean, they're forcing the issue. This is the most touches the keeper's had in 2 matches. She had more touches today than she did in the last 2 games.
Which all, of course, stands them in good stead to Kyrgyzstan if they can make it count. And by now, we'd already have Pei on the score sheet. But here she is. Brilliant run from her. Pei trying to do it all on her own. Looked up to try and get a foul. And a little bit of a petulant push there. Frustration that she didn't get the foul earlier.
She's having to use the outside of her right foot there. That's why I said she's got no left foot. If she had a left foot, she could have come straight to the line and then chopped it back in.
Was that a foul for you, Paul? Because she got the ball quite cleanly.
Yeah, no. It's. I'm not going to talk about the officials today.
That's what he says now in the 7th minute.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll remind me when I do mention it a bit later on if a mistake's made.
Well, only a couple of half chances for Laos so far, which is unusual.
Yeah, they're normally 2 up by now.
Exactly. But as you say, in a knockout game, the approach is always a little bit different.
Well, the nerves could have got to Laos a little bit more. As we know, they don't play that much. There are no leagues there. They thrive on competitions like this, so to get to this stage of the competition, it will be a bit tetchy for them.
Salah almost getting through. Normally the tactic from Laos is to knock in a couple of goals or 1 or 2 goals and then drop Pei, as you said, Paul, to just manage things in midfield, and that hasn't happened so far.
There's that big ball over the top again. That's what they're looking for.
Salah misses that one. Positive signs here. We might have a closer game than we thought. That's a good ball into Pei. Will she cut inside here? No, she's going to go for it on her own. Tight angle. It is slipped through. And once again, Pei gets the first goal for her country. But you've got to look at Tolanova. That should not have gone in. And it's another mistake from the Kyrgyzstan #1 that leads to a goal.
Pace, that's all it is here, look. There's 3 players back there and none of them can get close to her because of the pace. And it's just this little bit there where she nicks past. But that angle, I'm sorry, the goalkeeper at the near post, she's got the angles covered. That's such a poor goal to concede. It really, really is.
I mean, she's hit it in the only place she can hit it, Pei, and squeezes it in. I mean, that's all she could do from that kind of angle. You can't ask anything more of Pei in that instance.
No, exactly, because the angle was just so tight. She was only about 2 yards off the byline.
I'm afraid Tolanova is once again responsible for that. And all the good work we've seen from Kyrgyzstan has just been undone there. Now, interesting to see whether Pei remains as the striker. It's another good ball. And this is a little bit more like it now from Laos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just giving them that little bit of confidence now. And you can just see there's a little spring in the step from the Laotian side. The question is how is it going to affect Kyrgyzstan, will we get a response? Can they come back? Got to forget about the error. Tolanova needs to put that one well and truly at the back of her head.
Yeah, she, as usual, takes all the set pieces. Pei. Referee going to have a quick word there. I think it's with Dr. Bolotova. She saw a little bit of jostling in the box, and I'm sure there's a degree of frustration from Kyrgyzstan now for having conceded that. But as Paul said, got to draw a line under that. Now Dallinger can start some kind of counter-attack. And that's really well done for Villenton.
That was a poor touch though, wasn't it? It was just a little bit too heavy there from Dallinger.
Now a chance to just take some of that pressure off. I would have thought they'd want to go short, try and keep possession. They've been a bit lucky here. Borbakova maybe got a little kick there.
See, that was a foul for me because Kaznachiva just jumped into the opponent without any intent to play the ball. As it is, one of their own players has come off a little bit worse for wear. Borbakova it is that's down. There, you see there's no intent to play that ball. That's a foul. That's a foul.
That's, yeah, I mean, to be clear, you're talking about a foul on Kaznacheva, not on Borbakova, right?
No, it should have been a foul and a free kick for Laos.
Yes.
Because she's gone and just jumped into the play. You can't do that. Be like me walking down the street with you and just jumping into you. You don't do that. There, look, turns the back, jumps in. That was the second time.
Well, Borbakova is important for Kyrgyzstan. She's up.
Sorely missed, wasn't she, in the last game?
Absolutely. Didn't have that outlet, did they?
No, but if you remember, it was totally different. They just had the one up front. Was it Zorodina who just ran and then ran a little bit more and just ran for the full 90 minutes.
Zorodina was much better coming off the bench in that first game against the UAE than she was in the second game against Bangladesh, where she had to lead the line. And she may feature later on. Certainly a different kind of approach here from Laos, not playing with the same sort of intensity. And I think, Paul, you mentioned that as a possible concern for you, that what they do is they go really hard at you in the first 45 and then take their foot right off the pedal in the second half.
That's why I can't understand this. I mean, I know it's game management, and you know, I spoke to Boone and he said it's about managing games, and that's what they try to do.
Well, that looked like a foul on Pei by Maslianova. And just remind you, of course, as you may have just seen on the screens, that we would love for you to get involved in some social media. Follow us, follow K Sports on Facebook, K Sports Bangladesh, Twitter and Instagram as well. K Sports BDs. We just see the foul there on Pei. You can also subscribe to the K Sports YouTube channel, K Sports BD, or you can download the K Sports app from Google Sports Play, K Sports BD as well. Or you can even visit the K Sports website, ksportsbd.com. There you go, those are the links for you. Oh, there's another spill from Tolanova, and we saw that a few times from her in the previous game against Bangladesh. She's got away with that one. Credit there to Kyrgyzstan. Saskaeva just out-muscling Pei.
Don't say that very often.
No, not at all.
You did say one line that I'm sure you'll be saying quite a few times today.
What's that?
There's another foul on Pei.
Yeah. You can imagine that is going to be one of the tactics, I suppose. That was easily won back by Kaznacheva, who was instrumental in setting up the first goal, or the only goal for Kyrgyzstan against Bangladesh. She gives that a bit more physicality, Kaznacheva. There's Pei now. Dallinger looks up. Well, it's a delightful ball from Dallinger. Really nicely done. If it can be kept in, and running, sprinting towards it, Saskeva is unable to keep it in. But a nice idea.
Yeah, the odds were against the keeping that one in. It would have been incredible had she got there and managed to just turn and keep that one in play. Just a little bit too far away from her.
Anuta finds Apatsala. He's done really well here.
It was interesting, wasn't it? Somebody asked Apatsala yesterday at the press conference who she thought the best player in her team was, and she turned around and said, no, we're all as important as each other. That just tells you the team spirit that they have there then.
Yep, they're a real unit, aren't they? Here's Pimpa being closed down by Saskeva.
I did have a quiet word with her afterwards.
You did, I saw that.
And say, next time someone asks you that question, turn around and just point at yourself and go, me, I'm the best player. Have that confidence. She's a good player, though.
She's an excellent player. She gave you a little bit of a smile when you said that.
She knew.
Yeah. Dallinger, who I think has been very good so far. Decent ball in. Borombakova just couldn't find a footing. And tell you what, they've got into that penalty area a few times now. And I think Paul made a point more times in this game than the Laos have had in the entire tournament.
It was a good bad one there from Dallinger. She was shooting for goal and it ended up going out wide, and the opportunity to just cross the ball. A little bit warm here. I can tell you at 34 now, just because dusk is coming. It was about 38, 39 earlier, and incredibly hot for these young ladies to warm up in.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And here's Kaznacheva trying to impose herself. But she is being called into action a little bit more here. Patalavari.
Can they sustain this, though, Kyrgyzstan? If they can, they could be in with a chance.
Now Dallinger.
Well played.
Nicely done by Akhmat Kulova. Needs support now. Oh, was there a little arm out there from Kaznacheva on Sesamon? They've just got to continue until the referee blows a whistle. And it's safety first from Villinton. This is much, much better, and their players know it.
It certainly looked that way, didn't it? Does well to get in front there. Just catches her with a flailing arm, and it's right in front of the referee. You can see the referee there. It's a swing. It's the left arm. It did catch. That should have been a foul for me. But it's nice to see the Laos side under a little bit of pressure and having to defend now.
Absolutely right.
First time throughout this tournament that we've seen this.
And they've got almost 60% possession as well, Kyrgyzstan. So this is an unusual sequence here, this little period for Laos. It's a good test for them.
That's why I said about the second halves of game. Sometimes you can over-manage a game and you just get too comfortable and too confident. And Laos look as though they've started that way today.
Yeah, this is certainly the first test that they've had, but of course they have got that important goal.
Spot on. I was just going to say that. Yeah, I mean, we're saying this, but they're winning.
Exactly.
And like we said, it doesn't matter if they win 1-0, they're in the final. That's all that matters. Record books will show they're in the final.
Yeah. Interesting as well, because we didn't see many goal kicks for Laos, and Patlavadi didn't take that one. It was taken by Lanoi, which is also something we haven't seen. And brilliant as well from Pei! Oh, an excellent goal from Laos' striker, and that had everything in it, didn't it? Great skill and a beautiful finish.
What do we say when she gets into the box? When she gets into the box, she's deadly, she's composed, and this is a very, very good goal. It's a lovely ball play back inside, but it's that touch, it's the acceleration of pace, and then look how she opens herself up here. The outside of the right foot opens right up to push it into that far corner. It's a great finish and a very, very well worked goal when they've been under a lot of pressure in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Paul. You've hit the nail on the head, because we were just talking about a bit of pressure. They've reversed that in some style.
So there's the difference is that young lady there, Pei. She is the difference.
Remember, she's been on 2 hat-tricks in the last 2 games, so can she finally get one?
Yeah, 2 each in the previous 2.
She's a tournament top scorer with 6 goals now.
Very disappointed because the defenders up there, I mean, you know, Sesamone should be. No, I mean, it's great. To be fair, that goal epitomises what she's about. Just that touch, the agility, the pace, the composure. It was all intertwined in that goal. Fantastic goal from young Pei.
Now, what's interesting, Paul, normally after they've taken a 2-goal lead by now, they would have withdrawn Pei, and they've opted to keep her there.
I don't think they've got a choice today.
Yeah. Being a knockout and all. She's put that over the top again. They've just got a bit of hesitation.
They might do it until they get 1 or 2 more, you know, and then drop her back in there. But that's why if Kyrgyzstan could get a goal here now in the next 5 minutes, it'd just sow the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, remember, Bangladesh had that 2-goal lead. Kyrgyzstan got one back, but didn't really alter the game too much. But they just need that opportunity. And remember, they were starting to put the pressure on. We're just past the halfway mark in this first 45. And Laos are 2 goals up, though it's been not quite the same as it has been in previous matches. Not much Tolanova could have done about the second goal. Certainly at fault for the first. A little bit of a high boot there from Pei.
They're just trying to nick it and just push it around past Leonova.
Now here comes the dangerous moment. Pei again just skips past Saskieva, looks for Apat Salah. And it's kind of regressed, hasn't it, for Kyrgyzstan since that second goal. They're playing on the back foot a bit.
Yeah, it's just giving them a little slap, hasn't it? That's what goals do. You can just see the body language just dropping a little bit. They know that at 0-0, at 1-0, they've always got that chance. They're on top. They're really having a go, and then all of a sudden, it's just the sucker punch, bang. They're 2-0 down.
And if they want any inspiration,
clever play.
You have to look no further than the French Cup final. Yesterday, overwhelming favourites PSG, 2 goals up against Rennes, and Rennes went on to win it.
slightly different, but I know what you're saying. There's always belief. Even if you're 3-0 down, you've got to believe that you can still get back into the game, and one goal can change everything. If Laos was to concede, we could see them mentally crumble defensively.
Yeah, that's a concern. Here's Apat Salah, a bit of hesitation again from the defence. And Apat Salah do combine well. Kalashova just puts that out anywhere she can.
They're making a change. I think they're making 2 changes. It looks like they're changing the keeper as well. Kyrgyzstan just taking the bib off, and one of the subs has taken the bibs off as well. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Ahmad Kulova is down. I'm sure it's not because of her. She's only just gone down. Didn't look anything bad there.
Just a little nudge in the ribs. And just winded her a little bit.
Yeah, certainly you can see one player stripped off and ready to come on.
Maybe the goalkeeper's just taking the bib off because she got... But no, she's putting the gloves on. I can see her putting the gloves on from our vantage point, Shez.
Well, what is that? It's sending a message, isn't it, as well? I mean, Tolanova, she's done some good things as well. She made some good saves against Bangladesh after some of those earlier mistakes. Yeah. She redeemed herself, didn't she?
Yeah, a little bit, but they still went on to lose the game. It's still mistakes, and I think what the coach is saying is you make mistakes in all of the games, then why should we stick with you?
Well, to make a double change so early on is a little unusual. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
They've just got them sat back down now.
Saskieva here. Now, Kyrgyzstan are hardly getting a touch inside the opposition half. Kaznachieva, and she sees there's only Boromakova in front of her. Can't play that kind of pass, and that's exactly the frustration that Boromakova's got.
No, she's just saying, she's just booting it forward. She's having a chat with the coach there. She's talking to the coach, and she wasn't there. She was dropped off, just wanting the ball to feet. So she's saying, well, why can't you give me the ball? I'll set it back, then you knock it over the top.
It is Yurispek, by the way, the attacking midfielder, who has taken her bib off, and I just wonder what they're deciding to do here.
You've got fantastic eyes, by the way.
That's what they say.
No one's told me.
I just wonder whether that's a message as well from Boromakova, like, maybe give me another attacking midfielder I can work with.
Possibly.
Because they're just, I mean, there's a rare time, Tolokto Bolotova, I mean, she doesn't get that far forward either, the number 10 for Kyrgyzstan. She's normally screens in front of that back four. Yeah, so that's nice to see. They're just tend to push further up.
Well, they're having to, aren't they? They've got to try and get back into the game. The question is do they go all out, or do they just hold and contain? I don't think you can when you've got the pace of these Laotians up against you. They're all very, very nippy and very quick, and they get to the ball. Pimper's another one who does that well.
I think. Sorry, Paul, go on.
No, this is another one that does it really well, the same as Apasala. They're very, very quick.
Yeah, no doubt about that foul from Maslianova. Now, here's Kasnachieva, and Paul, I'm afraid, you know, she's physical. She tries to break up play, but often it's an aimless pass from her after she wins the tackle, wins the challenge.
She just wants to launch it, and all it needed there was a little 5-yard pass, because she had her back to play. So all she had to do was just set it, because somebody can see the big picture. Well, when they're going forwards to attack, that player should be the one that can then play it forwards.
Maybe she just needs to be in a slightly more withdrawn role. There she goes again, Dallinger this time. Now that goes up towards Kaznachieva. I mean, it's a huge size differential there. She's done well.
What a touch that was.
Very lovely done from Anuta.
Well played.
Nice ball down the line towards Apatsala. And it's put out of play by Konusbaeva.
I don't think they've played bad, you know, Kyrgyzstan. I really think that they've played okay. I think they've given a really good account of themselves. There's just been one person on the pitch that's the difference, and it's the one that's right in the middle of your screen at the moment. Pei, 2 chances, 2 goals. Match winner. That's why you've got to have a player like that in your team.
And this is one back by Apatsala, slips it into Pei. Once again, it's a tough angle, but she's surely not going to shoot from there. She kept it in brilliantly. Look at that from Pei. The tricks and flicks are coming out, and well, is that one for the cameras there from Tolanova?
Well, I had to take it on the dive, but that little piece of skill twice there from Pei. 2 little rollovers and drag backs, pirouetting in midair. I mean, it was more like ballet than football. Watch this. 1, and I think I'll do it again. There you go. Brilliant.
And then Tolanova thinking she'll get in the action up the other end. A little bit of a mix-up there. Borombakova in the penalty area. There's something about her, but then she's got... Well, it's not her, actually. In that instance, it's Askarova. What is she doing up there?
She's just pushed right on, hasn't she? That, for me, could possibly be a yellow card. I think she's kicked out and caught her there, you know.
It did look like that, didn't it? That's why I thought it was Borombakova who's done that before. It is a yellow card indeed.
She's just followed, chased her, and just hacked her down. Watch this. Ready, bang! There you go.
No doubt about that one.
Yep.
Now I just wonder whether this is a little tactical move, because I'm just seeing her stay further up.
Yeah, they've rejigged things, haven't they, at the back, because Konusbaeva has gone into the centre-back position as well.
Yeah, interesting tweak here. And it looks like Ahmad Kulova is now the left back. So maybe a little bit more physicality in midfield, but right now there's an injury. It is Saskeva's down. That's another flying save from Tolanova. I'm not even sure that was on target. Well, the fans certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, it was definitely going wide. There's no need to even attempt to go over that one. If you know your angles, and you see she's very flat-footed there, and only decides at the last minute to move. And now what she's done is she's put a team under pressure, because you know that Pei can just drag this ball into the box and, you know, deliver quality. There's no need to take that.
I just wonder, Paul, whether it's from the corner of her eye she saw what might be going on the bench. And it's some kind of attempt to keep her on the pitch. But there's no movement there anymore. And by the way, Saskieva is not looking comfortable there as she gets up. It's a corner here, and if they score off this from that save, or attempted save from Tolanova, well, I'm afraid she'll have to bear responsibility for that.
Again. She looks a little bit worried, the coach, doesn't she?
Well, punched out by the keeper. Now Kaznachieva. Kalishova. So just to confirm that they have made a couple of changes here. It does look like Askarova's gone from centre-back up to striker. Possession is more or less the same here. They need to get rid of the ball, and it's first time. You can see why Pei went for that, or Pimpa rather.
No, it was Pay that got the strike away. It's Pimper that's moved to the centre forwards position. But what did we say about her outside the box?
Always go for it.
High and wide. That's exactly what that strike was. In the box, composed, cool as a cucumber, and knows where the back of the net is.
She's just swapped with Pimper, hasn't she, Pay? She's gone out to the left-hand side. Pimper's now the lone striker. Well, both teams tweaking things slightly.
They're going to have to make a change, I think. It doesn't look as though she's going to be able to carry on, Saskiva.
Well, they were looking to make a change earlier on, and now there's the opportunity to do it. Dr. Bolotova, as we said, she's come a bit further forward. Here's Kasnachieva. Back to the skipper. Villinton. Doing well to find Apat Salah. Dr. Bolotova just doing her defensive duties, and that is poor, I'm afraid. She's been not able to wrap her foot around the ball on a number of occasions. Kalishova.
Wasn't the best clearance in the world, was it?
Apat Salah. Pimper tries to return the ball to her. Anuta! And that is no power in it whatsoever.
No easy pickings in the end.
Nice turn from Kasnachieva. She's got a couple of players ahead of her. That's a better type of ball from her. At least looking up to see who's up there. Can't falter for that one.
You can see the tactics. Get it, boot it, try and squeeze, get in behind.
That's really nicely done, Ponatip. Oh, what a ball that is to Apat Salah. Villinton. Now Pimper. Oh, that looked like a shove. It's still in, by the way.
Linesman's given that as a foul.
Nudge in the back, wasn't it?
Yep, right at the death.
So Saskeva will make way for Yirisbek, who we had seen earlier on, stripped off and ready to come on.
Well, it's a dangerous position here, you know, to concede that set play. You know that Pei can deliver. You know that Lanoy doesn't mind attacking the ball, the same as Sassamon.
That's at least a confidence boosting take for the keeper, Tolanova.
Right. Doesn't alter the fact that she's let one in at a near post.
True.
From a yard away from the goal line.
Absolutely not. Throws the ball out straight to a Laotian player.
Lovely 1-2 that was, wasn't it? That's better. Put your foot through it then.
Yeah. It's more likely to cause problems. There's Dallinger. Now Tokta Bolotova looking for Bodombakova, who's fouled, or she feels she was. Referee doesn't think so. Ponatip. Now they're getting stretched here. There was a little yank back right in front of the referee by Tokta Bolotova. She's going back to see Bodombakova here.
I thought she was caught there. You can see quite clearly incensed down there on the sideline is the coach.
This is the foul on Ponatip by Tokta Bolotova.
It's a hand on the back, you know. I mean, is it really a foul? You've got to ask that question. If it's a little grab of the shirt, then yes, it is, if that's what she's tried to do. But it's the one that was earlier that seems to be the problem, and it looks as though the Lao keeper has gone down as well and is struggling. Did they have a little coming together?
Well, we are just about 5 minutes away from half-time. Here we go.
Nah,
Nothing to
in
do
that.
with the goalkeeper.
I think what she's done there is she's just gone, she's caught the top of her foot as she's gone to clear the ball. Now the keeper, I think, was a little bit earlier when they had that mix-up. Maybe just getting a little bit of treatment while there's treatment being given. Your friend there, Shazad. Thumbs up.
Well, she has been the danger player, scored 2 goals. They haven't been able to find an answer for Pei.
Well, you posed the question, as you said yesterday, and it's the right question to ask. How do you stop this young lady? And I'm sure that whoever gets to the final from the other semi-final, it would be a wise question to ask whoever gets through as well. How are you going to stop this young lady?
As you said, Paul, cut that service out to her. Do not let her get on the ball. Would you advocate a slightly deeper defence?
Yeah, I'd drop a little bit,
Yeah.
just to deny the space in behind.
Because Bangladesh, because we obviously we do feel it's going to be Bangladesh through. They do like to play a very high line, don't they?
They have got Aki though. There's a big difference, and she's a tall girl. By the way,
I can't wait for that battle. By the way,
no, I know. If it happens.
Straightforward for Tolanova. We're going to have a little bit of out of time here. Quite a few stoppages. Now here's Kasnachieva, who's moved across to this right-hand side.
I think it's the height, and she's a little bit quick as well, you know. So it's just someone to double up on Pei.
Borovikova there, and now it's a good position here. Can they get their first goal? They can! What a chance there for Kyrgyzstan to pull one back, and they take it. And it's the stand-in forward, brought from the heart of defence, Askarova, who scores the first goal that Laos have conceded in this tournament.
Well, game definitely on now. It's that long ball forwards again, but it's the run. And being caught out in the right-hand side, Valenton had pushed a little bit too far forwards, but that is a cool, calm finish there from Askarova. She took her time, she opened herself up as though she was going to go to the right-hand side, tucked and pulled it back to the left, giving the keeper no chance. Team talks have just completely changed for both benches a couple of minutes before half-time.
Well, that's a real credit to the Kyrgyzstan coach, Natalia Gaivoronskaya, who was under pressure. Remember, her team looked down and out at 2-0, but she's made a few tweaks, Paul. She's had to make an enforced change. And interesting. Now, this is a test of character.
Correct. Here we go again.
Patlavari, and you can also hear the bench. They're all up. We haven't seen that at all. They were all up there. This is great. That's what you want to see. They're getting behind the team. They were shouting at Kyrgyzstan.
Well, let's see what this back line's made of now. The first time it's been breached, it was just a long ball down or through the middle, basically, that caught them out. So there are chinks in the armour, there are weaknesses, but can Kyrgyzstan do enough through the 90 minutes to get themselves through to the final?
I think there's also a point to be made here that, remember, when they scored that goal against Bangladesh, they didn't capitalise on that afterwards, did they? Maybe half-time's not coming at a good moment for them.
I think it's coming at the right time because they can settle, they can get the shape back. Like you've just mentioned, it wasn't like that when they were against Bangladesh because they got pushed straight back.
Yep.
With half-time coming now, the start of the second half, you can have a breather, you can use your head, you can mentally get to grips with what's going to happen in the second half of the game. The linesman can't tell a player to walk away like that. That's ridiculous. You can stand in front of the thrower as long as you're on the pitch. Well, I mean, that's crazy.
Also, by the way, up at Salah there, just having a little lash out. Got to be careful that she's being removed from the scene quickly.
It's a bit of a giveaway. She's got the green armband on, so you'd know that she was the. I think you could identify her there. Shot for goal here.
Well, Oh, it's Seisamon, who's got an eye for goal, as we know. Thought it might be Pei, but it's favouring the left footer.
Just hit the target.
Because you know you've got a chance, haven't you? Anything on target and follow up, put pressure up. It's hit the wall. Remember, Seisamon scored a superb goal from a free kick as well before. Laos, how do they react to this? 2 minutes of added time. Can they pull another one back here? It's a heavy touch from Kaznashieva. Dallinger.
I think Lao can't wait for the half-time whistle to go now. That's why I said their team talk will totally change. They've conceded a goal. We know that they can manage games. We've seen that in the last two. But this is a different encounter here because it's a lot more physical.
You just saw Coach Boone look at the watch.
He'll want to get the girls inside and get them sat down and start talking to them.
Now the question is, start the second half, will Pei revert back to being the lone striker? That's when she's at her most dangerous.
Fair play, Kyrgyzstan. Seriously, for having a go. We like that. No foul throws this half. Which is good.
Yeah, this is perfect, isn't it? It sets us up wonderfully for the second half. And we've had the 2 minutes. Is there opportunity for one last effort? Don't think so. Well, what a little twist we have here. Laos were looking very, very good. 2 goals from this young lady there, Pei. Looked to have given them an imperious lead, but Kyrgyzstan had their moments in this half and finally scored right towards the end through the makeshift forward, Askarova. And boy, Paul Macefield, have we got a game in our hands coming up in the second half?
This is really going to open up nicely for the second 45 minutes. Can't wait to see if Kyrgyzstan come out with that same intensity and go after Laos, or if Laos can manage a game yet again through to the final.
So, halftime here at the Bangamata National Stadium. It's Laos 2, Kyrgyzstan 1.
কিছু কিছু মানুষ এগিয়ে যাবার প্রেরণা ও এগিয়ে দেবার শক্তির অফুরন্ত উৎস হয়ে থাকেন। ঠিক যেমনটি ছিলেন বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের সহধর্মিণী বঙ্গমাতা শেখ ফজিলাতুন্নেসা মুজিব। কঠিন সময়ে দৃঢ়তা বজায় রাখার অদ্ভুত ক্ষমতা নিয়ে জন্মানো অসামান্য এই নারী একদিকে যেমন শক্ত হাতে সংসার সামলেছেন, তেমনি বঙ্গবন্ধুর পাশে থেকে আমাদের স্বাধীনতাকে ত্বরান্বিত করতে রেখেছেন পরোক্ষ ভূমিকা। তিনি পশ্চিমা শোষকদের বাধার মুখেও বঙ্গবন্ধুর অবর্তমানে দিয়েছেন রাজনৈতিক দিক নির্দেশনা। স্বাধীনতা পরবর্তী সময়ে বীরাঙ্গনাদের পুনর্বাসনের জন্য নিয়েছেন ব্যক্তিগত বহু পদক্ষেপ। আর তাই সকল প্রতিকূলতাকে ডিঙিয়ে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার মহান অনুপ্রেরণা বঙ্গমাতা শেখ ফজিলাতুন্নেসা মুজিব। তাঁর আদর্শ নতুন প্রজন্মের মাঝে ছড়িয়ে দিতে শুরু হচ্ছে বঙ্গমাতা অনূর্ধ্ব-19 মহিলা আন্তর্জাতিক গোল্ড কাপ 2019, যেখানে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার নেই মানা।
International Gold Cup. Laos are leading Kyrgyzstan 2-1 at halftime in the first semi-final. It looked to be all one-way traffic, with Laos taking the lead through their star striker Pei. These are your statistics, and whilst possession of course is pretty much 50-50, double the number of shots for Macefield and those on target as well.
Yep, they have been on the front foot, but take nothing away from Kyrgyzstan. They've turned around, they've given a fantastic account of themselves, and they really have had a go. So all to play for this second 45 minutes.
Well, I think they're feeling a little better about themselves. It was a downcast Kyrgyzstan earlier on, and they just seemed a little bit more upbeat towards the end of that first half when they got the goal. They'll kick things off here in the second half. And we're just going to see whether Pei, it looks like Pei has gone into that more central position for now. But as Paul Macefield mentioned in the first half, a bit of a test of character now, something they haven't really been used to in this kind of position.
No, they haven't been tested. We've not seen that throughout this tournament, so it'll be intriguing and interesting to see if it transpires this second 45 minutes.
Also want to see if they're going to keep up with those tweaks. Looks like they have. They went a more 4-4-2. And reminder, of course, that we do want to hear from you and interact as much as possible, and the best way to do that is through social media. And just a short while, we'll tell you more about that. Here the keeper comes up. Go ahead, find us on Facebook on K Sports Bangladesh, Twitter and Instagram K Sports BD there, hashtag, as you can see. So we'd like to hear from you and post pictures if you're here as well. You can also find us on YouTube, K Sports BD, or download the app from the Google Play Store as well, K Sports BD. Or you can also find out more information on K Sports on the website, ksportsbd.com. Knee to knee. There's Pimpa, who's gone down. So they're keeping two forwards there, and Borombakova, Askarova maybe just behind her, and that seems to have just given them a little bit more going forward. As Tolanova comes to that, and that's a bit more confident from her.
A little bit of hesitation initially, but then did ever so well to take it. You can see they've come out with a little spring in their step, so Laos are going to have to be a little bit careful here.
That's better from Kaznacheva. Borombakova looking for the ball.
Finally playing the way they're facing. And it was just that ball forwards that almost came off for them as well.
Teleshova, massive clearance there. She's been possibly the one they're aiming for, Paul. Laos, nice ball slipped through from Dallinger. Borombakova. A lot of things coming through her. Here's Pei. No foul. Well, the flag has gone up belatedly.
The referee is 10 yards away. The linesman is 20 yards away. How can the linesman give that decision? The referee was happy with that to play on. Let's have a look. Is it a foul? It's a coming together more than anything. I think that's just physical size that's made that free kick.
There's Lanoy. And again, they've just gone to sleep here a little bit. Apat Salah puts pressure on. They'll get a corner. That should have been easily dealt with. Plenty more fouls, double the number of fouls from Kyrgyzstan compared to Laos. We knew that was going to happen.
Always going to happen. The physicality just tells you that that's going to happen. Physical size of the girls from Kyrgyzstan are bigger than the Laotians.
Again, cleverly going at the keeper, knowing that she has been a little susceptible.
Yep. Little challenge here, and of course Can't do that. The arm was raised, to be fair, from Lannoy, so good decision.
Are you defending a goalkeeper there?
It was a good decision. The arm was raised.
You've been known to defend keepers.
If it's the right decision, you've got to praise it. If it's the wrong decision, you know, we do make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but you can criticise, but that was the right decision. It was a good call from the official.
Absolutely right.
Oh, the first foul throw. Nice little dozen now, on a round
lucky
dozen.
13 or 12 now?
Dozen.
Dozen, okay. Will we hit 15 by the end of this tournament? Here is Payne. Return ball to her. Wins a free kick.
No surprise there. Again, being physical. Passing it around the team, aren't they? Because it was Isbek that made that challenge.
Now, will Pay go for goal, as has been her habit. Yes, is the answer. Wow, it's on and over. Maybe a little too casual there. That could have been embarrassing.
Like that throw. That's a good bad and just got away with that one.
I'm not sure why she's doing that, rather than pumping it forward. That has more potential to cause problems. Here's Kaznachieva looking for Dallinger. Again, overhits that pass.
All the hard work and then just cheaply concede possession like that.
It's not the first time, I'm afraid, for Kaznachieva.
That's frustrating, isn't it?
Well, it's not going to go out of play for Ahmad Kulova.
Foul's been given. The linesman signalled for a foul, so the foul, it will be a free kick from down in that corner, although there wasn't too much in that. But it's been given in favour of Laos. That I don't agree with.
Well, there will be a talking point if they score from here. Say someone having a word with the teammate, and I think there was enough on that to get it away. They seem to be wanting to pepper that goal with shots. Well, there is some logic to that, of course.
Well, but you've got to hit the target.
Yeah.
That's the difference. 17 shots to 6 in favour of Laos, but there haven't been too many on target. Poor ball.
And that just runs away from Pimpa.
Honest behaviour, it was initially that gave the ball away and put them back under pressure.
There's Afat Salah looking for Pay. This is where she's dangerous. Slips that ball through to Pimpa. Pimpa! Well, I would think she was attempting a cross there. Vardy comes on now. She's going to replace Ponatip.
He hasn't had the best game today, Ponatip, after playing really, really well in the opening game. I think more than anything, it's the physical size as well. Vardy just a little bit bigger, a bit of a bigger frame. Ponatip just out-muscled for the majority of that game in the middle of the park.
There she is again, Pay. I mean, that you've got to be pretty special scoring like that.
You got to know when. That's the thing. When to pull the trigger. Are there better options? Yes. The ball's rolling away from you. You're on the turn. You're trying a snapshot. Very, very difficult to even attempt to hit the target. You'd find top professionals in Europe wouldn't have tried to shoot there.
Now Dallinger finds Kaznachieva. Kaznachieva. Tucked the ball over. You can see what she was trying to do. Get that through to Askarova.
Yeah, they'll know they've been in a game today, the Laos side. That's what semi-final football's all about when it gets to the knockout phase.
Now tucked the ball over. Again looking for Bormakov. Bormakov has really had very little service today. She hasn't touched the ball as much. She's played an important part. Here's Pei. She looks up, she's up at Salah. Good touch from the skipper. Foul by the Laotian captain.
Is it a foul or a handball?
We'll get another look at that.
And the referee blew it very late. Pei with the pace to get there first. There you go, just rolled up and hit a hand.
Good spot.
Yeah, my eyes aren't that bad, Shez.
That's a lucky deflection off Lanoy. Up at Salah. Here's Vadi. From the referee. And it's Kelishova once again.
Yeah, I think there was just a little tickle there on the ankles. Watch, there's the turn. There is contact. It is a free kick. Yeah, Vadi will go for goal here. No doubt about that.
Surprised Pei hasn't said let me have a go. Here's Vadi. Oh, it's found its way through! She got a hand onto it, Tolanova. But Vadi makes it 3, and Laos can breathe a little easier now.
But I'm telling you, you can't blame the goalkeeper for that, because that's the wall side, and it's gone up and over the wall and into the corner. That's gone nearly skimmed the post. It's a great free kick.
Actually, she squeezed it in beautifully.
She did. That's why that's not the goalkeeper's fault at all. That is about 2 millimeters away from the post. It's a stunning free kick, to be fair. Real quality from Vadi.
Brilliant goal. Top notch. And Kyrgyzstan, all that hard work, well, got to start again. 2-goal deficit.
I think they're going to make another change, Kyrgyzstan. You're going to lose 3-1 in a semi-final. You might as well lose 4 or 5-1, so you've got to push an extra few bodies further forwards, in my opinion.
I think get something from this right now. Make things very interesting. Lots of football to come. First corner of the game.
What a ball in that was, by the way. How's that gone out of play? That's not gone. That can't have gone out of play, because it was headed about 4 yards out from the line, and it wasn't that much. That's never out of play.
So I think there's some discussions going on the sidelines there with the coach, the Kyrgyzstan coach, on to what's happening. Here we go. What they're going to decide to do. They've got to go for broke a little bit, don't they?
It's another foul on Pei.
That was quite the tussle there with Pei. They've taken that very quickly. Here's Vardy. Good thinking from Laos. Now Pimpa. Looking for Apat Salah. Pei's gone for the shot, and well, that was the right choice, wasn't it?
Outside the box, what happens? You can see even the girls, I think, down on the bench know as well. She must have had 15, 20 shots in this tournament from outside the box.
Ibrahimova, by the way, is about to come on.
Just snatching at it. That's a foul. Look, she's got hold of her, pulled her down. That's a free kick.
Ibrahimova is a forward. Just wonder whether it might be Kaznachieva who's going to be the one taken off. 22 kilometers an hour, the wind speed. It is a bit breezy in here, which is, I tell you what, welcome relief for all concerned, given the kind of heat we've had and humidity.
Yeah, they were saying that there might be a cyclone just starting to form. Is it the Bay of Bengal? So let's just hope that if it is, it blows away very quickly.
There are some of the Kyrgyz fans in the crowd. Good to see them. They've been around for all the games.
Yeah, I'm going to ask one of them if we can get one of those hats, because you look very fetching with one of those hats on.
I would.
You're
really going to help me get that, Paul?
Yeah, it would suit you.
Right, so the change to be made. Well, it's Dallinger who's going off. I thought she's had a pretty decent game, Dallinger, but she has to make way for Ibrahimova.
Well, that's a big physical miss now that's gone from the team. You're right, because she's done very, very well in today's game, along with Kaznachieva.
She doesn't look very happy about that, but now ball into the area, well defended. Can they get them on the break? Have to close that down. Took a bit of a hit there, Maslianova. Play continues. Apat Salah. She's done well here. Pei's in a dangerous position. They just hesitated. Kelishova with an important clearance. Now Pimpa. She looks up. She can see Pei. Look at that. So much space for Pei. There was no one there, so she decided to go for it, and she's won a corner. But Pei is finding there's lots of space in those channels.
Yeah, she's been pushed further forwards again now, hasn't she? But there, again, the time and the place. You go to strike, you check back, defender goes running over the advertising boards, you're clean through on goal, rather than snatching at it and taking it too early.
Again, keeper! Well, flapped him that one. And it could have been a goal for Seysamon.
Getting close again. I think Boone, the coach, was talking to me and said she actually used to be a centre forward. That's why she knows how to score goals, and she should have scored there because the keeper's missed that.
Talanova once again very, very uncertain of herself. One back by Anuta. Over the top here. Pei. Flag has gone up. We've just tussled there with Tolanova.
That's got to be called early, because that's where players can and inevitably will end up getting injured. They see if the striker's going for the ball, the weight. Clearly onside, by the way, a good yard onside. I mean, it's just the wrong decision. Again.
Yep, you're absolutely right there. Nothing wrong with that. Now this is where they fear Pei. She'll go for goal. And it flies over the crossbar. She is still waiting for her first hat-trick of this tournament.
There's that composure from the first half gone. She was inside the box there, but again, at range, a little bit of an angle. It's just the pace here. She tries to get blocked out Konosbaeva trying to do her best. But she just needs to learn when. When is the time to do this?
Well, that will come, I suppose, with more maturity. Oh, nicely done here by the substitute Irrespect. Good run from her. Really nicely done. Haven't had enough of that so far from Kyrgyzstan. Flying in, the substitute Ibrahimova.
No holding back there, was there?
This is where they've got to try and make it count. They don't get many opportunities inside the penalty area. Handball from Irisbek.
Could just do with them having another 10-minute spell now and just trying to nick one. Ball did bounce up and hit the arm. You can see she puts her arm straight away behind her back. Watch there. No, it didn't hit my arm really. That's why she's trying to hide her arm. But it did. It happens, Shazad, you know that.
No, really, you didn't see that. Let's try. Here she is, Irrespect. Well, she's brought something into the team since her introduction. Irrespect again. Foul on her by Vadi.
She's been incredibly physical since coming on, Vardy. I think that's the second or third real strong challenge that she's put in. This could be a tester. Hit the target.
Vardy gives as good as she gets. Easy for Patlavadi. That's a wasted opportunity. They're going to make another change here. Laos. Well closed down by guess who? She's been great, Askarova, and she was trying to get the ball into Bormakova. Oh, that was unnecessary. We've seen that kind of reaction from Bormakova, and she's got to be careful here.
It's a little bit naughty, isn't it? She knows exactly what she's doing. Great little ball floated in, just enough of a deflection. But that's what we said about letting people know you're in a game. That's exactly what she's done there. If that's done in the first minute to the goalkeeper, you're asking that question. If another ball comes like that, will the keeper react that way?
Montip, who started the first game, replaces Apat Salah. That might be with just the finals in mind. Don't forget, we've got a lot of rest between now and Saturday for this team. 3.5, 4 days they've got, so they've decided to make the change. Montip, very, very useful player.
Yep, pace, ability, no problems there. Be sorely disappointed that she didn't start the game today. Everyone's talking about this young lady. Pay. And
here are those goals for you, and this is what she can do.
Half a yard, look at the composure. It's just tucked into that near post. I mean, it's poor keeping in the end.
This was the second goal.
That touch there is absolutely stunning, and the composure for the finish there was absolutely top draw.
Brilliant goal, isn't it? This is the when they pulled one back here, Kyrgyzstan, from Askarova.
Good finish. It's given us a decent second half as well.
Well, Irrespect led that little attack earlier for Kyrgyzstan, and she's been excellent since she's come on. And her cross wasn't a bad one. It was actually pretty good defending in the end from Sesamon.
Just had to get that leg out and just get a touch on it. You would have thought, and you would think that with a scoreline like this, if it stays this way, the Pay will win the man of the match again, which will be 3 on the bounce. So that tells you that she is one of the most valuable assets here at this tournament.
Yeah, she's also making a pretty penny, 500 US every time you our player of the match.
I wish I was playing again.
And of course, she is the tournament top scorer.
You go on assists as well if there was somebody level.
She's, I think, by far and away now 6 goals in this tournament. But she'll be wanting to get a hat-trick. Here she is now, Pei. That's nicely done by the new player in, Ibrahimova. She's done enough there. Apat Salah taking a break. Important touch on here.
And just physicality there.
Little rest for Apat Salah.
She's got the skipper's armband as well, so very influential for the team, both on and off the field of play.
Mind you, tomorrow we have a massive game. Bangladesh, who have been brilliant. They will take on Mongolia.
I think you've been reading the reports that I have in the press, and whoever's written that doesn't know football.
Yeah, saying that Kyrgyzstan dominated half the game, which was
Nonsense.
not true at all.
It's nonsense, absolute nonsense.
Only one attempt in that whole game. That was the only time they even got into that penalty area.
Correct. I mean, it's poor. That's poor journalism. That is poor writing.
It's strange, and really we're hoping everyone gets behind the team. Tomorrow we're expecting an excellent crowd here. They really have captured the imagination, and tomorrow's the eve of a public holiday, of course, so we'll have lots of people in the crowd.
I want the place to be banging and rocking for the girls. I really do. We went over there yesterday, didn't we? We were invited across by BFF, and we managed to go and meet the young ladies and watch them train and look at the facilities that they've got, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Very special experience. We really enjoyed that, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about that tomorrow when we have the players in question in front of us. And we got to see them in a different setting, in a different light. Very good.
Still training.
Yeah, they're working hard. They're really working hard. And they want to win this for their nation in front of their own fans. Now, just about to see, maybe, well, there was a thought of bringing Alim Janova on. Maybe just rethinking that now.
I think it was just to get some last instructions from the head coach, so it does look as though that change will transpire.
Well, she's an attacker, and that's the last throw of the dice, really, for Kyrgyzstan, with just about 20 minutes, if you include some added time, left.
Yeah, this half's gone a little bit slower, hasn't it? Cheers, compared with the first 45 minutes. I think you understand what I'm saying when I'm coming, or where I'm coming from with that one.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe not surprising. Also, this is textbook Laos, isn't it, in this tournament?
Stop starts, manage the game.
Kaznachieva, who has been very good at certain things and not so much at others. She's replaced by Alim Janova. And this is down to this 11 now to try and turn it around. Oh, what a ball. Can they finish off here? It's rolling in. Well, was that hit in the end? Well, the defender, doesn't matter. They've got the goal. It's Montip who will claim it. And Laos have now got 4.
What a defence splitting pass that was. I couldn't see from here who hit it, but what a stunning ball through. And a wonderful, wonderful finish as well. The keeper's come and then just lifting it over at absolutely no chance. You maybe want your defender to lunge and dive in to try and clear that one off the line, but it's bouncing, just couldn't get there.
That will go down as Montip's goal, by the way. It was on target. The attempted clearance there was just before it hit the line, Ahmad Kulova, but it will be her goal. And it's 4-1.
Another 5 goals where Laos are concerned in a match that they're playing in. We've had 5, 6, 5, the number of goals. If they can get one more.
And there's plenty of time for that, isn't there? And you'd have to say at this point, Paul, that is it, isn't it, really?
I think it was over when the first one went in. You know my thoughts.
So, now Kyrgyzstan, they have it all to do here if they want anything out of this. There is, of course, a provision for going beyond the 90, but we're not going to need that today.
Oh, of course, we get extra time and penalties, wouldn't we? Is it straight to penalties? Oh, well, we're not going to need it. I mean, that's why we haven't done the double checking on that one, but it'll be interesting to find out. It may just go straight to penalties. That would be... I don't think it's going to happen in the semi-finals, but you never know with the final.
Yeah, I think those 2 very balanced teams. They come forward here. Lanoy. Extra time and penalties then will be the order of the day if scores are tied after 90, but I can't see any danger of that happening.
If people could see the way I'm looking at you now.
Yeah. It's a look of, well, I think it's pretty plain what's happening here, and the reaction on the bench says it all. Remember, it was 2-1 coming into the break, and they haven't really pressed on with that, have they?
No, they didn't. They didn't. I just thought that they'd get back in the dressing room, regroup, have a little chat. Let's just come out and let's really have a go and start where we left off. And you feel if that would have happened, they could really have had a go. But this Laos side do know how to manage the game. They manage it, they keep it tight, they contain, and then they hit you on the break, and that's why they're winning games 5, 6, and are currently 4 in front today.
And the player that we picked out as the danger player has been Borumbakova, but she just hasn't been able to get on the ball.
Well, their tactics have been slightly different anyway, right? Just launching it forwards and trying to go from there.
It's kind of hit and hope, isn't it, Paul? At times.
Well, no, there's an aim and a purpose, so they know what they're doing, so at least that ethos is there, but it's got to be the right ball forwards.
What we're seeing now is Borumbakova has moved across to that right-hand side, and you're seeing Irisbek, and now Alzim Zanova as the 2 forwards.
Goal here to make it interesting for the last 10 or 12 minutes or so, wouldn't it?
Seysamon, emphatic clearance, looks up towards Montip. And now Pay, remember, she wants a hat-trick. This is the best chance she's had. Brilliant. And straight at goal. This one on target at least. Just
How
the way
quick
she
were those
shifted
feet?
the ball.
Feet were so quick.
Love how the goalkeeper went down after that.
Just killing time.
6 goals. Could there be a 7th to complete her hat-trick?
Unbelievable footwork though, just there. I think it was there that pushed the ball and drag it back inside. Totally outfoxed the defender. No chance of getting that one at all.
I mean, she's got so much skill about her. It really is impressive.
Best player in the tournament, I told you.
Yeah.
Without question.
Oh, scoop up there. Excellent work from Anuta. And Laos will make their 3rd and final change here. Intida is coming on. She will replace Pimpa. Good work from Pimpa today. They've all been very, very good.
Not as good as they have been throughout the tournament.
No,
yes,
that's true.
I think that's fair to say. I think
It's been their first test though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a proper professional performance today, if you understand what I mean. They've played as they've had to.
First touch there for Intida, who's done really well. We're coming into the final 10 here. Will they hit again at least 5 goals? That's what they've done previously. It would be good to see, of course, Pei get her hat-trick. A little bit of annoyance there from Kyrgyzstan, and Pimpa gets a well-deserved break. Coming to help out Alzim Zanova.
Funny, just dancing around the challenges there, just trying to get in. Another yellow card shown.
Talked about it over, hands all over Vadi.
Dragging it to the floor. Correct decision.
Once again, it's that continued tactic of peppering that Kyrgyzstan goal. There is quite the stiff breeze now coming across here. Here we go.
They're kicking into the wind, judging from the flags.
Would it be nice for them to sort of vary that from time to time and not aim for goal?
If you've got the wind behind you and you get enough on it, then okay. But if you're kicking into the wind's always going to hold the ball on. But yes, it would be nice to see the ball whipped in, or they just put it down and play.
Confirmation there. Dr. Molotova, the skipper. She's been one of the standouts for this side, Kyrgyzstan. Now, here's Pei. Normally gets the better of Kelishova, but this time it's done well, and it's a goal kick.
Pei didn't think so. I'm not 100% convinced because it's some way away from us. tell you what, I'd like to see that again. That's very, very close. Offside.
Oh, delightful ball, but it is offside. You can see the thinking there, the right idea. Just setting off a tad early.
Well, it's actually the other way around. She's lazy to get back on side because she just made that run to go forwards.
Yes, she was. She stayed in that position.
I know what you're saying, but that's what happened.
Trying to be nice, but okay, Paul.
You'd be nice, I'll be honest.
For you, do they deserve a 5th goal, Laos?
The way that they've played and they've dominated and they've looked okay and they've made sure with a professional performance, and they could get another one here yet, Shaz. But no, I mean it's just been a total managed performance.
But you like it because it shows some variation from them now, that when they're up against it a little bit, should manage this. Oh, a chance here, and finally Pei gets a much cherished hat-trick. It's another mistake, it looked like, from Tolanova. A bit of a mix-up with her defender, and it is once again Laos with at least 5 goals.
It's unbelievable, really, isn't it? When you look at the performance, I mean, that's just pace again. She's just put it round. The keeper has come out. Tolanova totally missed it. Kilishova absolutely nowhere to be seen. And when they're trying to push a little bit further forwards, this is going to happen. They don't deal with it, and it's just enough. And finally, after all the hard work of the previous 2 games as well, Pei does get her hat-trick, and thoroughly deserved.
7 goals in the tournament, 3 in this one, 5 for Laos. And they just don't do things in small numbers, do they? And they've now scored a whopping 16 goals, Paul Macefield, in 3 games, and conceded just the 1.
They're the best team here, or one of the best teams here.
And they'll again go for goal there, and Intida trying her luck now. Now, I mean, you've got to call it as it is, and that's what obviously you do, Paul. And how many goals do you think here Tolanova's been responsible for today?
The keeper.
Yeah. Almost all of them, right?
Couldn't have done anything about the free kick. Maybe 2 she's got away with, so I would say 3 or 4. There was the one that she didn't have a chance with that was whipped in. The one at the near post was her fault.
And there could be another one here. Montip just being
penalty,
pushed off the ball, and the referee points to the spot, just getting bad to worse for Kyrgyzstan.
I've just watched the Laos midfield defenders jumping into each other, pumping their fists because of this award of a penalty. And I tell you what, that just tells you about the team spirit. Penalty's been given. It's a chance to extend the lead even more and give us what we had in the last game, which is 6 goals for Laos. Normally Pei would take it. She took one the other day, but I'm sure that it's going to be passed around to somebody else today because she's already got a hat-trick, or am I mistaken?
Oh, I think she's the one. She wants that golden boot, but I don't think there's anyone close to her anyway.
Well, only the defender, Sesame. Sesame's the only one that could get close.
Yeah, she's on 4.
Well, this would make it 8, right? She went to her right last time, but it was a little stabby.
Yeah.
Will she change it up this time?
Just to be clear, Paul, you had no issues with that when you saw that replay as a penalty, right?
Yeah. Penalty nailed on.
So, a chance to make it 6. Easy does it for Pei. And it's 6 goals now. They are rampant towards the end of it, and she looks a bit upset there, doesn't she, Tolanova? Just a very quick 2 steps, isn't it, for her?
It's not much at all. Good penalty, no problems there.
She guessed the right way, but dived over it. pay with 4.
Looking back at their previous games, you know, they start games well, but they finish them well as well because the opponents tire.
Yeah.
In the game that they played against Tajikistan, 75th, 89th, 94th minute. The game against Mongolia, okay, 83rd minute. But that, I mean, so there are late goals there as well.
And they scored 2 here.
Scored 2, 86 and 89. Will we get one more? Are they going to go 5, 6, 7? That's the thing.
Paul, you were actually saying to me you wouldn't be surprised if it was even more than 6 goals.
I think my number was 8 to you, wasn't it? Well, we've had 7 goals, so if we get one more, I'll claim that one.
And you wouldn't put it past them. They look a dejected lot now here, Kyrgyzstan. Again, just watch that footwork. They have been absolutely brilliant on the ball, haven't they? Just throughout this tournament. 3 minutes of added time and maybe just as well.
You might as well just blow the whistle. Because with all intent and due respects, you know, they're not going to score 5 goals in 3 minutes.
And if this was about, I think we might have had the towel thrown in a while ago. It's been pretty much from the hour mark onwards.
Yeah.
All Laos.
Yeah, I think it's been slightly disappointing from Kyrgyzstan the second half. I think because they got that goal just before half-time, we were expecting a little bit more. All they've done here is try and bully Laos' second half. They've been very, very strong and very physical in the game, but the Laotians have not backed down at all, and they've given as good as they've got.
And in many respects, Paul, they probably needed this before the final, didn't they? Just to have conceded a goal.
Absolutely.
Here is Intida.
It actually gives the coach something to work on. And you can actually say, there is a weakness, we conceded a goal. So how did it happen? Right, let's sit down, let's dissect it, it'll be video analysed, they'll go through it all so that they don't make those mistakes in the final.
Will there be one more? This is where they are. Have been a little shaky on these set pieces. A chance here, surely! It's last in! 7-1. And hands on the head there. Poor defending. Tolanova can't believe it. She can't be blamed for this one. But it is poor once again from Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, corner whipped in, they don't deal with it, it just drops, and Lanoi just in the right place at the right time. Where is the marking? It's gone AWOL. Lanoi, with acres of space, just slams it home. And, well, Laos have gone 5, 6, 7. What are they going to do in the final?
That's a good point. They've got better and better with the goals. Well, Paul had predicted perhaps 8 today. He's got 8 goals. He's got his 8 goals. We'll give him that. But it is disappointing to have conceded 3 goals like that right at the end of the match. What is a contact Patlavadi? I don't know about that. Was there a little boot stuck in there by Ibrahimova? She's not having any sympathy here, the referee. Not quite sure what Patlavadi's playing at either.
The ref wants to blow the full-time whistle. The 3 minutes are up.
They've just seemed to have lost their way a little bit here, Kyrgyzstan. And we've had the 3 minutes now. And the referee finally blows it. An ignominious end for Kyrgyzstan, but it's absolute delight for Laos. They have thoroughly deserved it and put a little flourish towards the end of this match.
Yeah, they did, just like they have done in previous games. Turn it on when it comes towards the end of the match as well. Get themselves a couple of goals, and you see the joy and the elation on the bench and on the pitch in the field of play. Obviously not so much for Kyrgyzstan who have been absolutely battered here. It's the highest score in the tournament so far, and Laos deserving winners, although they did make hard work of it, particularly in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, normally it's the first 45 where they wrap games up. This time they wrapped it up in the second, so a nice balance for them finally. And those are your goal scorers. Pei with 4 goals, and she'll be delighted that she's finally got a hat-trick.
No, deserved as well throughout this tournament. She's been wonderful, she's been fantastic. Pace, touch, ability. She's got absolutely everything. In my opinion, she's the best player at this tournament, and we saw that tonight, and she's finally got that elusive hat-trick, having been on 2 goals for the previous 2 games.
So, as we wrap up here, delightful scenes here for Laos as they make their way to the final, the Bangamata U19 Women's International Gold Cup. The final score in the first semi-final, it's Laos 7, Kyrgyzstan 1.